Gremlins 3 was just officially announced to be in development, and I wanted to share what I think will happen in the third movie. Welcome to Fandom Pending. I'm your host, Michaela. I grew up watching 80s films and listening to 80s music, so it's no surprise that Gremlins is one of my favorite movies. I'm super excited to have the film finally be made and get that news. However, a Gremlins 3 was announced back in 2017 and Chris Columbus, the writer of the first film, was already said to have a script. So why hasn't the film started production until now, and why haven't we been getting any updates? My speculation is that maybe Warner Bros. Was afraid to release this movie as they were afraid that they wouldn't make a lot of money. Over the years, Zach Galligan, who plays Billy, has been asked about Gremlins 3, which he says he's attached to and is going to happen. In June 2023, we got the animated series Gremlins Secrets of the Mogwai, a prequel to the first movie. In the series, we learn how a 10-year-old Sam Wing met Gizmo. I remember around the time the series was coming out, Zach Galligan said that if the series did good on Max, the streaming service, and people were interested, then a Gremlins 3 would move forward into production. I guess the series did well because they're in the middle of their second season, which is great. As for Gremlins 3, it makes me wonder what the film could be about. Gremlins 2 came out 6 years after the first film, and Chris Columbus did not come back to write the sequel, so they were stuck on what Gremlins 2 should be about. Finally, the script was complete, with the plot being Gremlins taking over a smart building and Billy, Kate, and Gizmo saving the day. If the reason Gremlins 3 hasn't moved forward is because they can't think of a story for the third film, that seems a little weird because I feel like the second movie perfectly sets it up. In Gremlins 2, Billy and Kate talk about getting married, so it would be obvious for Gremlins 3 to be about Billy and Kate and their kids being responsible for getting Gizmo wet and turning the Mogwais into gremlins. If you have any fan castings for Billy and Kate's kids, please share them in the comments. I love fan castings so much. The original script for Gremlins was about a group of kids in a similar fashion to other 80s movies, such as E.T. and Stand By Me, who find Gizmo and break all the rules because they're kids. However, Phoebe Cates loved the script and wanted to be in the film. Since Cates was a big star at the time, she was given a role, but the script was rewritten and the main characters were aged up. However, Corey Feldman, who was 12 at the time, was already cast, which is why Billy is friends with the kid. Gremlins 3 could take after the original script in having Billy and Kate's kids and their friends being responsible for Gremlins returning. I kind of wanted to share my wish list for Gremlins 3 and what I kind of want to see in the movie. I really, really want practical effects only in this movie. I want it to have the same feel as the first movie and the second movie. The last official update we got for Gremlins 3 was in 2020 when Columbus said he doesn't want Gremlins 3 to have any CGI, but rather animatronics like the first two films. This makes me so happy because I'm a huge fan of practical effects. I think CGI should be kept to a minimum and only be used if needed to. Another thing is that I don't want Gremlins 3 just to be Easter egg fluff. I don't just want it to be like fan service after fan service. I want this to be a rewatchable film with a good plot and a good character arc for both Billy and Kate. A lot of requels, such as Ghostbusters, Afterlife, or Jurassic World, have the movie take place in the same universe as the first film, but have a different cast of characters, and the main characters are pushed to the side. And or like the original cast is in like a glorified cameo role. I really don't want that to happen in Gremlins 3 because Gremlins really is Billy's story and Gizmo's story, and I really want him to be the main character, and I want to see what his life is like now after so many years. The only reason requels are made is so studios can make more money. For example, for Jurassic World, there's like three movies prior. You can watch Jurassic World and still know what's going on without watching the first movie, second movie, or third movie. It allows old and new fans to come and watch the movie, resulting in more money being made. However, by doing this formula, you're not really giving the movie the rewatchability factor it needs and what actually makes a good movie. And sometimes at requels, it's basically a remake of the original movie, and you're factoring in that nostalgia. I don't want Gremlins 3 to be a requel. I don't want this other new cast of like teens or kids to be the main characters and Billy and Kate are pushed aside because I really want them to be the driving force. I really want them to star in this movie. The Requel horror trend has been dying down in Hollywood, so I don't know if Gremlins 3 is going to follow that route. Scream 7 is going back to its original formula with having the final girl, Sydney Prescott, be the main character, which might bring back legacy sequels back into rotation. 3 years ago, we got a Mountain Dew commercial featuring Zach Galligan as Billy and Gizmo. The commercial featured Gizmo starting to multiply after drinking Mountain Dew, and Billy's daughter walking into the room with another Mogwai on her shoulder. Now, I don't think this commercial is going to be canon in the Gremlin universe, but it does give us an idea of what to expect, such as Billy having a kid. I have heard some discussion onto if Gremlins 3 should have Gizmo turn into a gremlin. I don't think the movie should do this. Gizmo is just known as that lovable character, similar to Baby Yoda, and I don't think they're going to kill him off or make him turn into a gremlin. I do love the bit where Gizmo gets inspired by a movie he's watching earlier in the film, such as Rambo, and takes on the heroic character to save the day. I really want this movie to be called Gremlins 3 and pretty much be the sequel we're all waiting for. I don't want the movie to be called Gremlins 2025 or whatever year it comes out. I think it's really important to market this movie as a sequel and have Billy and Kate and Gizmo be the main characters. Gremlins is PG-13, and the first film is known for creating that PG-13 rating in movies. And I would really also like Gremlins 3 to be PG-13. I don't think it should be like rated R with over the top violence. I think we should still keep it catered towards family. I also want Gremlins 3 to have an iconic setting. The first Gremlins took place in the small town of Kingston Falls, while Gremlins 2 took place at the Clamp Building in New York. Both settings are really iconic for both films, so Gremlins 3 should take place in a just as iconic location. However, for nostalgia bait, the third film might take place in Kingston Falls. I'm fine with that if the story has a good reason toward it. Maybe the third movie could take place at Clamp Corners, the housing community Daniel Clamp wanted to build at the end of Gremlins 2. Maybe Billy and Kate live there for free because they helped get rid of the gremlins in the Clamp building and saved everyone's lives. In Gremlins 1, the iconic gremlin villain we had was Stripe, and in Gremlins 2, we had Mohawk. There was also Lenny, George, and Daffy, and we had a lot more great character designs for the gremlins in the second film. Gremlins 3 should follow this in having more iconic characters added to their gremlin line. And you know that they're probably going to do this because they have a very popular toy line, collectible line with NECA, and you know they're going to want to make more gremlins for the movie. I would also like to talk about the music. Jerry Goldsmith did the music for Gremlins 1 and 2. However, he passed away in 2004, and I would love for Goldsmith's music, especially the Gremlin theme, to be used in the film and for the music to have an 80s feel to it. Gremlins wouldn't be complete without its cast. Zach Galligan, who plays Billy, would most likely return, as he always states in interviews that he's looking forward to Gremlins 3. Phoebe Cates, who plays Kate, hasn't been in a film since 2001, but I'm sure she'll return to Gremlins as a leading role. Frank Welker, who voices Gremlins, will most likely return as well, as he's still doing voice work to this day. I also hope Howie Mandel comes back to voice Gizmo. However, AJ Locascio voiced Gizmo in the Gremlins Secrets of the Mogwai series. I love AJ Locascio. He's a great voice actor, so I wouldn't mind if he was voicing Gizmo from here on out. I don't know why Howie Mandel wasn't a part of the Gremlins series. I know he's a more bigger celebrity, so he probably doesn't have time for a television series. Or I don't even know if he's able to do the voice anymore. I'm not sure. But if we get Howie Mandel's Gizmo or AJ Locascio, I'll be happy either way. Francis Lee McCain, Judge Reynolds, Corey Feldman, John Glover, and Jackie Joseph were actors in the first two films that could reprise their role as well. Lynn Morris could also come back, but I heard she works as a real estate agent now. She did have a voice acting role in Secrets of the Mogwai, so she still could be in rotation. What are you most excited to see in Gremlins 3? I would love to hear your theories on what you think Gremlins 3 will be about. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.